Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hairbrain Games. We're doing our yearly special presentation I do every year. As many of you know, and some of you even participate in, the Board Game Geek's Secret Santa that begins generally in October and wraps up hopefully for everyone by the middle of December or around Christmas itself. I have done this probably, I think, for 15 years now, and I have to say that I have had some great years. I have had some good years. I've never had a bad year per se, so I'm very grateful for that, and that's just a tribute to generosity of people around the globe. This has been a year like no other, which I will explain in detail, and I wanted to, again, this is primarily, I send this to the person who basically was my Secret Santa. Every year I send that because I want to do more than just post a thank you. People put effort into it, they put their money into it, they ship the game to me, and I want to demonstrate that just how much I appreciate the generosity in a way that I can describe visually, not just through text or posting on a thread. So this has been a year like no other. First off, we're going to talk about my stint as a Santa. Now, when I do the Santa Claus thing, what I love to do is I love to do recon. It's not to me just a gift exchange. It's sort of an opportunity to sort of spread goodwill and cheer. And so what I like to do is get an actual understanding of the person. So when I get my target, I'll look through their posts, I'll look at their list, their wish list, but also what they contributed on Board Game Geek. If I can find them on other places, social media, whatever, I like to get to know them, because not everything on BGG maps up, and year after year I find something. One year I was able to read up on a person's background, and she had a game she wanted, and that's great, but then I also saw that she had a history with one of the places that I went up to every year up in Canada, or in the Yukon area, and so I was able to get her a game fit with that as well, and that was very meaningful, and that's what I love. That's way higher than the bar demands. Basically, find a gift for $50, send it, Merry Christmas, you're on your way. You do that, you fulfill the obligation and stuff. And that said, I just love going the extra mile. This year was one of the most difficult ones because when I received my target, I instantly knew who that person was because they were very antithetical to people like me. I had actually had to block this person because they were very much just antagonistic on Board Game Geek as well as online about people of my religious persuasion, or whatever you call it, my faith in Christ. Even glorifying particular assassinations earlier this year. And so that was really an eye-opener to me to see that and go, what am I going to do with this? And my initial thought was, I'm going to fulfill the obligation because I set up to it. And I sat on it for a day or two, and I decided, you know what? No, I need to check my attitude, because if I'm to follow my faith and I'm to follow what I'm to do, I need to live what I preach, and I need to make it. Apostle Paul, when cursed, blessed; when beaten down, rise up; when in need, give more, and so I decided that I was going to go ahead and I was going to go the extra mile just as I would anyone else. And it wasn't fun digging through some of the the history and I don't plan to want to die for my faith, and I don't, the Lord has blessed me in such regard. But I started the dialogue, did the Santa thing, was very happy, and stuff, and little did this individual know that we would be engaging in a dialogue. We had plenty of joy and plenty of happiness to share in the anonymity of the moment, and I ended up finding not only a particular gift that was desired, but also found something based on the history of what I saw that would maybe resonate with him and his family and his kids. So I think that was meaningful for me to sort of remember the calling and to not take the knee-jerk reaction, and to basically be the Santa. Be like, no matter what, it's you did your part. I give in honor of the meaning of it, and so that was very meaningful to me, and that would have been enough of a lesson for me. And then, as it turns out, another thing came about that even taught me even further, and that was I went through and I cleaned out of all my, I have a lot of board games, we all know this, and I decided I was going to clean through some of the ones that I absolutely would never play. I really love my board games. Someday I'd like to have a library, a sharing library somehow, some way, if it can be kept up to live in perpetuity far beyond my treading of ground on this earth. But in the meantime, I found just games that were just awful, ones that just, like lots of games I didn't like, and some games that were duplicates and whatever, and I just put a call out to my local folks and said, does anybody want these before I just ditch them? And I had a lovely neighbor who was like, we'll try them, and so I handed her 20 games, and I'm like, some of these are good, some of these are not, some of them were good. I mean, Flip 7's good, and I had an extra copy, so there you go, and stuff. And what I realized as I gave them, it wasn't even until the evening when I started getting little pictures from this lady of all of their kids and their family opening these games, videos of, there's one game that was so just crazy not good, but it was perfect for this little kid who just liked to watch the mechanical bull go around a ring again. And so it dawned on me that I can have a really high low bar, and I need to remember that to someone who doesn't live in the world of board games and having the eyes of a child, even a game I don't like, even a game I would never play, has value and merit to other people who just would soak it up and soak it in. And like Christ says, you have to be Christ-like to enter the kingdom. And sure enough, that's a lesson for me too. So I enjoyed those lessons. They humbled me. They helped. They really helped give me some perspective that I think I needed after a bit. So that said, that's not even the best part, because I had a Secret Santa, and this Secret Santa has been by far the most detailed, deliberately interested in communicating, fantastic, humorous, clever Santa I have ever had. This Santa did exactly the same thing, did their recon, did their investigation, and then approached me with just joyous holiday terms and castings for the gifts, not just gifts that are heading my way. I was so floored and blessed by this that I'm posting this now as part 1, because part 2 is going to be the actual arrival of these gifts. But I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to ask for your help on this. So first off, this is the letter that I got from Santa Claus, and this is a poem written in a way to give me hints on the 3 different games that are heading my way. And it is written with some Monty Python-esque humor. It is written with some Hitchhiker's Guide humor. You couldn't find a better way to give me. If this was all that happened and I didn't even ever get these gifts, I would still be super, super pumped about it. I am so blessed that this person has gone above and beyond to do way more than is asked. And so if you read this poem, it's a little tiny print, unfortunately. Here we go. Yeah. And so you can read it. I'm going to, basically there's 3 games. I'm going to give you 3 stanzas. First thou shalt encounter a game of tremendous potential. Shouldst thou hear a sudden whoomp, followed by the gentle arc of something that probably shouldn't be airborne. Please take cover behind the nearest shrubbery, but remain calm and refrain from shouting, "Run away!" Though it would be perfect understandable, 'tis perfectly safe. Perhaps, maybe, ish. Any guesses what this game is? To me, it's throw burrito. But I would love for people to chime in on what they think this first game is. But there's more, and it's not sold in any store. Game number 2. Secondly, there lies a box shaped in deep emotional wibbliness, where melancholy meanderings and musical mutterings are considered a perfectly acceptable pastime, ideal for those who enjoy a touch of drama with their parchment. I'm trying to think of what this could be. I've had some local guesses, but does anybody have any guesses on what they think this game that's arriving will be? The parchment is what makes me think I got a focus on games like Galileo, Luthier, Gutenberg kind of style. But hey, what are your thoughts? And then game number 3, yes, it's been that generous of a year. A curious tome of illustrated absurdities, a device that encourages thee to draw forth wild tales, tall tales, and takes takes that should probably entails it should probably never see the light of day again. A storyteller's sandbox, but with more silliness and fewer regulations from the Ministry of Sensible Narratives. Man, I don't know. Like, I've had guesses from Rory's Story Cubes to Dixit to all kinds of manner of guesses, but I am super pumped to find out what these games are, and I'm curious what some of you guys have for guesses on what these games are going to be. And that's it. What a time to be alive. This has been a year of contrition, a lesson in the upper echelon of human kindness, all in the same year, and I'm very grateful to be doing this video and sharing it with you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these games are, and when they come in, I will post a part 2 of this so that we can all find out what it was. Were we correct, or were we silly? And were there silly walks involved? So take care, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.